Okay guys, I'm kind of freaked out here, you know what I mean? I'm kind of freaked out here. I don't know how to explain this. It feels like I'm being watched all the time, you know what I'm saying? It feels like I'm being watched. Like something is always behind me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it properly, but I feel like I'm being stalked, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm saying, you know what I'm saying a lot just because I'm kind of nervous, all right? Just give me a break. But anyway, I mean, there's something behind me and I'm afraid to look, but it feels like I'm being watched by something. But I don't want to turn around because it's almost like I'm going to be enabling that thing, you know? I don't know if you can see anything there, but it feels like this one eye. Like this one eye is watching me. And I don't know what it wants. I don't know. But I don't want to turn around, but maybe I should. Maybe I should turn around. But if I turn around, maybe it'll know that I turned around, and then maybe it'll get worse. You know what I'm saying? I said it again. All right, here goes. I'll just do it. Train the muscles, not the joints. Mountain. Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I thought it'd be interesting to talk about the supplements that I found to be the best for a pump in the gym, because a lot of times a pump isn't the whole picture, but sometimes a pump can tell you that there's enough blood flow going to the muscle and that there's a lot of good positive nitrogen balance happening, which means your muscle will have a better tendency to recover and grow. So I have noticed that there can be, not always, but there can be a correlation between a pump and growth. Now, if you're just getting a pump from just doing super high reps all the time, then that's a different sort of pump. So there's a different texture to the pump. Let's just put it that way. There's a different texture to the pump when you're in a growth phase. So there's like a growth phase pump. So you can learn to differentiate between the two sensations as you train. At some point you will get to know one more than the other, and you will start to be able to say, oh, this is a positive pump, and maybe this one's maybe just, you know, just an endurance type pump, which is much different. It just feels different. So yeah, that's all I can tell you. So anyway, the supplements that I found to be the best for a pump and growth and overall recovery is, number one, the first one is creatine. Creatine monohydrate. Now I know there's different ones out on the market right now, but creatine monohydrate I found to be the best. Now I don't use a lot of creatine nowadays. The reason why is not because it's negative or anything like that. It's just that I find that it's hard for me to understand exactly where my diet is or how lean I am, because creatine does make me retain water. And most people it does. You retain a little bit of water. So I'd never recommend taking creatine right before you're going to get into a photo shoot or getting on stage for a contest or something. Creatine is a great supplement for helping the water or the hydration of the cell. So bringing water on the inside of the muscle cell, but of course you may get some spillover. So a lot of times people say, hey, when there's more hydration in the muscle cell itself, it allows a greater amount of transport of nutrients in and out. So this can have an influence in your overall recuperation and recovery. And that is one of the main things. Now, some people say, oh, creatine's bad for kidneys and all this. It's not. It's just a bunch of bullshit sort of things that are going around. There's all these myths and stuff. My brother's done some heavy research in it. He's a naturopathic doctor. And a lot of times the studies that have been done are already on people who already have failing kidneys or problems with their kidneys. So if you give those people too much water, they'll also have a kidney issue, right? Doesn't mean water's toxic to the kidney. You know what I'm saying? So this is the kind of skewed sort of research out there. And there is some actually coming out now that's saying that creatine can be positive for kidneys and positive for mitochondrial longevity. And this can play a major role in aging. The healthier the mitochondria are in the body is one marker of overall longevity and health. So that's something to consider when it comes down to taking creatine. It's not just some sort of weird kind of bad food, right? Creatine is found in your chicken, in your fish, in your red meat. I think it's about 2 grams per pound in red meat specifically. And when you just up the dosage of the creatine, it can make a difference. Even just 5 grams a day can make a difference in what type of pump you feel in the gym. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on creatine monohydrate. I noticed that it did help me break through some plateaus, especially in upper body strength from time to time. Now the second supplement I would say is the next best supplement for a pump and overall like anabolic feeling in the gym is glutamine. Glutamine is the most abundant amino acid in muscle tissue. It also helps with the recovery of the gut lining and the intestinal tract, I believe. And because of this, glutamine gets used by the most important things in your system first and foremost besides the muscles, which is basically your brain and your stomach. So your brain and your stomach use a lot of glutamine, and glutamine is really essential for rebuilding of tissue itself. And obviously your stomach lining is more important to your survival than you having massive amounts of muscle. Mountainous muscle and being pumpy and lumpy, right? A lot of times that glutamine will go first to repairing the gut and dealing with mental sort of stuff like the nervous system, you know, the brain function and concentration, that sort of thing. Glutamine can help with that. And then from there, it is dispersed through the muscle tissue. I understand I'm speaking generally here, but this is basically what I read on it a long time ago. And this is the general premise of glutamine, is that it's used because it's so important to the body. It's used in a lot of different processes. And if your glutamine is being used for a lot of other things, a lot of times your muscle might be deficient in that. And by having extra glutamine, it can assist with your overall recovery. And you will notice a positive nitrogen balance in the body because of this. So creatine and glutamine seem to really go well together. I used to take them together all the time. Just drink 5 grams of glutamine and creatine together. And if you want to get it in with a high glycemic index fruit juice or something like that, sometimes that helps the absorption, right? So those are 2 supplements that I would take quite regularly, and I noticed that it was great. As long as I wasn't cutting, then it was great for my workouts, and I noticed a good pump. Now the next supplement I'm going to talk about, I don't even know how to find this supplement anymore, or if it's even out on the market or not, because I know there's all sorts of arginine supplements out there. But basically it was called NO2 back in the day. Nitric oxide, right? So basically this supplement can work as an antioxidant, and it can help in increasing the amount of blood volume in your system. And this supplement I found I got the wickedest pumps from, and I found that my joints and everything felt really solid. I don't know why, but it felt like I was indestructible when I took this supplement. And the time-released form of arginine was the best. I found the time release one, not the one that just is like a powder that gets in your system and out. I found like the tablets where there was just a little bit of arginine getting in your system at a time. I found that type of NO2 was the best supplement that I had ever taken for overall pump and growth. So when I go into the gym, it just felt like I could work out for much longer, and I noticed that my muscles felt a lot more pumped. So there were supplements out there like called nitrics and all this kind of stuff that had arginine along with creatine combined with a little bit of glutamine. That was a great supplement. So I found that the arginine supplements, if you find the right one, it can be really integral in getting a better pump as well as increasing your recovery. And for some reason, like I said, I felt greater joint integrity when I was taking that. Maybe it was because of the increased blood flow, and the blood flow was getting to the joints because, hey, blood flows everything, right? And if the blood flow is getting there, then you're going to have more recovery and you're going to have a better ability to bounce back, right? Because a lot of times, or not, because sometimes the reason why you're not recovering in a certain area is a lack of blood flow because the blood supply is being cut off for some reason or another. Maybe it's a tight muscle group. Maybe it's fascia that's too tight, the sinew that glues the muscle together. Sometimes that can be blocking or restricting blood flow because it's too tight in a certain area, kind of like wearing a sock that's too tight. Sometimes that can happen, especially when you go through a bit of a growth spurt. Say you gain a bit of muscle at a certain period of time and your fascia has not stretched properly yet. Sometimes this can also impede blood flow, and because of this, supplements like NO2 may help this, and along with massage. I always recommend massage, but NO2 I found was a really great supplement for that. So yeah, I mean, if you can find a time release formula of arginine, like a good quality company that doesn't put a bunch of crap in there, but just a real time release version of NO2 or arginine, this may be a really great supplement for you to play with and see how you feel taking it. Arginine is a natural supplement. Again, it's just an amino acid, so yeah, try it out. Now, another supplement that isn't necessarily a supplement that I found I get great pumps from is stinging nettle infusion. Now, I made a video about this, making this on this channel. You can order stinging nettle, which is dry, dehydrated stinging nettle, which is the plant that's on the ground. I'm probably standing in some right now. It's that plant that stings you when you touch it. Stinging nettle is really healthy for a lot of reasons, but one thing it really does increase is blood flow, and it helps I believe, the flexibility and the pliability of the veins and arteries, so it helps you have better blood flow and functionality with your circulation. And it also helps with energy production, so it helps increase, I believe it's high in iron. Let's just say this, you just get a greater pump, and it's a healing tonic for the body. There's something very healing about it. It's good for prostate, it's good for male issues, but it's really great for feeling like you turn the lights on. So you drink this infusion, and you'll notice that all of a sudden your muscles feel like they can go forever as well. There's a lot more blood flow, there's a lot more of a pump, and there's this nourishing energy. Not like a caffeine energy, but more like a sustainable energy, like an energy that lasts throughout the day. It's not just here and gone like caffeine. It's an energy that feels healthy, because a real healthy energy, it's not like an excitement of the nervous system. So it's like their physical tissue is able to utilize energy more effectively, which might have something also to do with the mitochondria, I don't know. But how you make this product, I do have a video on it, so you can check it out. I made it years ago, but you can order stinging nettle or dehydrated stinging nettle from a company in the States. There's a bunch of companies that actually sell this stuff. And what you do is you get an airtight container, like these canning type containers, these jars. It has to be airtight. And what you do is you put in a certain amount of stinging nettle in there, pour the boiling water in, seal the top, and then let it sit for 4 hours, and then you strain it. And then that'll last for about 1 day in the fridge. So you have to drink it within 1 day. But I'm telling you, you drink this stuff, you will notice that all of a sudden, wow, man, it feels like something, like I got struck by lightning or something like that. You feel the energy. It's definitely worthwhile trying out. A stinging nettle infusion. Check out the video on this channel if you haven't. You can make it. It's not expensive. It's a cheap supplement, and it's totally natural, and it's very healthy for you. So yeah, give it a try. It's full of minerals and all that stuff. So yeah, you people that like to eat trees and all that, that's stuff you're gonna be into. 100%. You hippie bodybuilders or whatever you're, try it out. And one last note on this, I just wanna say it's not the same as tea. A couple of people have come on the channel and they said, oh yeah, I'm gonna get some stinging nettle tea. It's not the same. Tea is not the same as an infusion, because infusion, it helps take all the minerals and all the stuff, all the good stuff out of the leaves over a period of 4 hours in an airtight container. It's not like a tea where you basically just pour water on it and let it sit for 10 minutes or whatever, and then there's oxygen there and everything. It doesn't pull out the minerals the same way. So try that out. Now the last supplement / food I'm gonna talk about is organ meat. I know you guys are gonna just oh yeah, you're just talking about organ meat all the time, but I'm just gonna say this. If you don't have enough iron, 100%, you're not gonna have blood flow and you won't have a pump. So on that note, the biggest difference I made in my diet was eating organ meats, and that made a big difference in the energy production I had, along with the feeling of tightness and everything in the muscle. So when I trained, it felt like I wasn't so empty. It felt like there was something deeper that was nourishing my muscles, and that came from eating liver. Now, you can eat different organs that heal different pathways, whether it's you're eating spleen or whether it's eating beef prostate or whatever. A lot of times we've been disconnected from the way our ancestors lived, or the way our grandparents lived, or great-grandparents, where they ate all these different types of things which were supremely nourishing. And of course, our ancestors lived a much more physical life than we did, so they needed to make sure they were nourished. And there might be a correlation between the two, where they actually had the energy to actually get up and do that labor job, that physical labor job every day, working out in the yard. They were lifting weights all the time, like their life was a gym, So eating the organ meats can make a massive difference, because if you're deficient in something, especially iron, you're not going to have any sort of oxygen flow, you're not going to have any blood flow, you're not going to have any blood production, and this is going to make a big difference. Now, there are different organs that will help with different things. If you don't want to cook something up in a pan like I do, you can take a supplement line like Ancestral Supplements, and they have different organs that help with different parts of your system. But really what I'd recommend to start with, if you're going to start with, is just start with the beef organs. It has 5 different organs in there. It'll be a good overall tonic for you to start with. And yeah, just try that out and see if that also helps bring some sort of nourishing energy to you, so that when you go to the gym, you're actually having the blood flow to have a pump with. And if you want any Ancestral Supplements, there's a link in the description that gives you 10% off. So make sure you use that. Every time you click that link and order something, it does help benefit this channel, help support this channel. So thanks if you do order from that company, because they are working in partnership with me, because I do believe in what they are doing. So thanks for supporting the channel. If you do order any products from them, they are a really high quality company. I've talked to the owner at length numerous times, and he's a really solid guy. He's a true Gallantian, I'll tell you that. He's nuts. He's a little bit nuts. Sorry, Brian, but yeah, you're a little nuts in a good way. I mean, you're nuts in a good way. You got to be a little bit nuts to be a Gallantian. So hey, welcome on board there, buddy. So if you apply or utilize these different supplements that I've talked about today, I guarantee you're gonna notice a different pump when you go to the gym. You're gonna notice something different. I guarantee you will notice something different, and this may help skyrocket your gains and your results and your energy into the next level in the gym and actually get you a little bit healthier at the same time. So thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.